It's a Mother's Day matchup on round 5 here at Rockwell Automation Park. Great to have your company. Weston up against Valentine. We're two desperate sides looking for their first wins of the season. We're just about to get underway. Joining me in commentary today is Gary Fisher. Rob Digby, the referee, just about to get us underway. We've got Brenton Olsemer and Reese Pettit, who looks to be playing a little bit further up the field today. And Valentine now with Darren Cooper. Gary, welcome. First game this year live on Bar TV. Great to have you back up here at Weston, and it should be a good contest, this one.
Should be a great contest, Ben. Thanks for that. Yeah, good to be back behind the mic, just off the bench today. So enjoy the experience here at Weston. There's always an amphitheatre of music and that. That's why we were delayed getting on air, waiting for the music to finish. So, yeah, it should be a great contest. Two sides desperate for a 3 points at the end of it all. So sit back and enjoy, folks.
Well, James Wand in the bright yellow for Weston. So Weston in that black and white traditional home strip. Valentine in the bright orange. And James Wand, goalkeeper for Weston. He's in the side today, filling in for Ben Kelly, who was suspended last week. James Wand, a local junior. He played at Maitland last year, actually. Is this ball over the top from Valentine's Alex Serapis into the back of a Weston player with the early throw, but it's a big loss, Gary, isn't it? Ben Kelly out of the side. He was sent off early in that match last week when they went down 4-0 to Hamilton. Yeah,
quality keeper, obviously, Ben, so they will miss him today, but great opportunity for James. He came on in difficult circumstances last week and did a job for them, but starting debut for the club today, I believe, so hopefully he does well for them.
And a really interesting setup, Valentine. Darren Sills has tinkered with the side today. Scott McGinley looks like he's playing at centre back, and Reese Pettit is playing, looks to be in the midfield, so an interesting move there.
Yeah, I watched Valentine play last week, and Pettit and McKinley were in the opposite positions to what they are today, so obviously Coach Seals has seen a need to tinker with something, maybe a bit more penetration from Reese in the midfield role he's playing.
Well, there's Burrell playing it off to Swaddling and across to Chris Brown. Spent some time at Broadmeadow Magic in the past. Weston on the ball, a much different lineup to what we saw last year. Here's Michael Ryan playing it in towards the middle. Ridge Marpu should deal with that and does so. Michael Ryan actually coming back out of retirement this season. He retired at the end of the 2014 season with a chronic knee problem. So good to see him back on the park for Weston this year as Nathan Morris shipping it into the box. Looking for Mitchell Wallace. Still Wallace turning. And an early corner for Weston. So some good pressure for them early on against Valentine.
Yeah, just on Mick Ryan from reports, he just missed it too much. And as you said, did have some chronic knee problems, but decided to push the envelope one more time. So his body's holding up well. He's had a great pre-season. So great to see him back in the black and white, a long-term servant of the Western club.
Well, there's Nathan Morris, as always, on the free kick. Goes to Gary McDermott. McDermott going short this time to Stevens. Back across to Morris. Another player out for Weston today, Robbie Turnbull. He was sent off late in the game against Hamilton last week. So both he and Ben Kelly, big losses for the Bears today. Here's McDermott going up over the top. Header from Snedden. Goes down, but Rob Digby just gives it as a goal kick. It's a Bayana Marco from Valentine.
Yeah, very good in the air is Snedden. And Lachlan Rowan's come in for Robbie Turnbull today at left fullback. I think he debuted in the first game of the season this year for the Bears, but back in first grade today for the suspended Robbie Turnbull.
Yeah, just the one game last year, Lachlan Rowan in first grade. Morris heading it down, looking for Mitch Wallace. Couldn't find him. Reese Pettit now. Cross to Ridge Marpu, just behind him. Interesting story, Ridge Marpu is actually a rugby league player till he was 18 years of age. He's 23 now. Got a lot of pace as well. So here's a ball down the line from Weston. Turned back and with Will Cam. Still Will Cam plays it to Olsemer. Pettit going wide. In the end it finds Serapis. Serapis in towards the middle looking for Olsemer. Well defended by Weston. Reese Pettit back to Brown. Brown towards Olsemer. Well defended by Zach Snedden. Good in the air again with his head there. As Gary mentioned earlier, very good in the air, Zach Snedden. Here's Swaddling. Swaddling has a shot, deflecting off Nathan Morris and down and away, just relieving some pressure for Weston. There's Lee Ashton across the ground for Morris. Goes back to Greg Anderson. And his ball straight over the sideline. He didn't play, couldn't find any information about Greg Anderson on whether he did play a game for Hamilton last year. Did he play? I don't think he played many games, if any at all, for...
No, I think he badly broke his leg, in a pre-season fixture, so he never actually played a competition game with them last year, and unfortunately for Greg, spent all year on the sideline.
Well, here's Swaddling, cutting it back into the middle. Olsema has the shot. James Wand, good save. Olsema probably disappointed he didn't get enough on that. Some early chances, Gary, in this one.
Yeah, it's opened up early. Alex Serapis will be a handy acquisition for the Valentine club today. He was missing in action against Lambton last week, so he'll add some extra penetration up front.
Here's Brown, goes to Cooper, back to Burrell.
It's been an early goal at Adamstown Oval. Adamstown 1, lead Maitland 0. Goal scorer was Tom Lino.
I'll come back to Tom Lino in a sec. Here's the header away from Rowan, and now with Lee Ashton. Darren Cooper going in, doesn't get the ball, doesn't get the man either actually, and now cross to McDermott. Morris stabbing it forward, looking across the far side of the field for Stevens. Played for South Cardiff last year, Nathan Stevens, into the Western lineup this season. Pettit goes to Swaddling. Swaddling stabbing one over the top, and that's straight to Wand. It's a very big park here at Rockwell Automation Park, probably, I think, the biggest ground in the competition. So both these two sides, you can see the space out there. Plenty of space for both sides to attack from. And back to Tom Lino. Last week we had the game Charlestown-Adamstown. Tom Lino was probably Adamstown's best player in the second half. Came on at halftime and he was outstanding. So I'm not surprised, Gary, that he got on the board. He's going to be a big player for them over this the last 13 rounds of the season. Yeah,
Ben, I actually watched that on Bar TV amongst watching the A-League and monitoring scores from Magic. But, he came on and certainly made a difference and was unlucky not to get a goal in that game himself. But he's going to be a handful in for all fullbacks moving forward. And I'm sure, obviously, the coach has seen something and started him today. So good to see.
Here's Morris, McDermott now. Bring it across the ground to Macbeth. Now bring to this near side for Lachlan Rowan. McGinley, and free kick going Weston's way. Tell you what, we've had more excitement in the opening 8 minutes of this one than we did in 90 minutes last week at Charlestown, Gary. It was a very dour contest, I must say.
Yeah, dour contest. Two sides, I think, trying to sort themselves out there, and it wasn't the best game. But
here's McDermott, long range shot.
But as you said, today's game very open so far, and enjoying it.
Well, it's interesting that Maitland, I was looking at the ladder. We've got Olympic on 13, Magic 11, Charlestown 11, Edgeworth 10, and then a 5-point gap outside the top 4 down to Maitland. But they've only played 3 games, Maitland, so if they win this afternoon, it sort of closes that gap and increases the gap from 5th to 6th. Jaffas are only on 3, so there is a huge gap emerging between the top 4 and the rest of the competition. So
and
Adamstown can get a win, that'll just make it a little bit, reduce that deficit a little bit.
Yeah, you're 100% right there. So Maitland's washout game is against the Jets as well, so Jets not travelling the best at the moment. So they'd be eyeing that themselves as a potential win. So, yeah, will really put a gap in the competition if they do win at Adamstown today.
So here's Swaddling coming towards the sideline. Throw going Weston's way. Last week, Valentine went down 2-0 to Lambton. Thought it was a resurgence for Lambton after 3 tough matches to start the season, but they went down to Charlestown yesterday 3-1. So Valentine will be looking to erase that last week's performance from their minds and put on a good show here this afternoon at Rockwell Automation Park. As we mentioned earlier, no wins for either of these two sides. in 2016. Darren Cooper, another long-range shot straight to James Wand. And interestingly enough, before this game, Weston, they haven't scored for 300 minutes this season after Gary McDermott scored with half an hour to go in the match against the Jets. That was to put them ahead 3-2. They drew 3-3 that day against the Jets in round one. They haven't scored since then. And for Valentine, they haven't scored for 208 minutes. Their last goal was when Brenton Olsemer scored against Maitland at home at Carl Oval in round 2.
Well, Ben, the way the game started, surely we're going to see some goals today. So we would hope so anyway.
Here's Snedden. Bring it to this near side of the ground. Rowan. Back to Snedden again from Ashton. Morris. Playing it to Macbeth. Goes across towards Stevens. Serapis an interception, but not sure what he was trying to do. They're looking for Olsemer, but it was nowhere near him. James Wan, that slices off the side of his boot and over the sideline and invites Valentine down to do a bit of attacking now.
Valentine, look, they're up for this today. Obviously, their pitch at Carl Oval is difficult to play on because it's shared with rugby league and the grass is a tad longer than what a traditional football pitch would be. So, but I'm sure they'll enjoy playing on these conditions today and looking to play some decent football.
And Valentine's training facility is probably one of the best in the competition. So then having to go and take that to Carl Oval, it must just be a massive change for them. Here's McDermott playing it short to Ryan, and he looks across to Stevens. Just can't keep it in that far sideline. Be a throw to Burrell. To Chris Brown now. Weston last week, we mentioned before they went down to Hamilton, 4-0 it was. Wasn't that big a scoreline with about 15 to go, but a few late goals from Hamilton, including Reece Cooper with a stunning goal in the last minute. Yeah, James Wan's head. He'll probably be having nightmares about that.
It was a great goal. Obviously, James pushed forward with Weston being down to 9 men at that stage to play some sort of sweeper role, and Cooper picked him out, and yeah, it was a beautiful finish. Just got a message through that Adamstown's goalkeeper has been sent off yet again.
So
different keeper this time.
That's Paul Bitts, isn't it?
I would imagine it'd be Paul Bitts. So,
well, I'm happy I'm not interviewing Graham Law this afternoon, Gary. I don't think that would be happening.
That's 2 NPL games and an FFA Cup game where their keeper's been sent.
Here's Olsemer. Greg Anderson just getting in. That's an incredible stat. That'd have to be a first, wouldn't it? I don't think it'd happen too often that you get 2 goalkeepers sent off in the same, or is it 3? They've actually had 3 send-offs this year. They've had the FFA Cup with Scott Carter, the match against Valentine, Scott Carter, and then I'm assuming it's Paul Bitts that's been sent off. He's been keeping for Adamstown the last couple of weeks. So you'd think Adamstown are going to be hard-pressed to keep that 1-0 lead in that one at Adamstown Oval, but stranger things have happened. Rowan on the inside. And now with Scott McGinley, his brother Paul on the bench, interestingly, this afternoon. So another one of the changes Darren Sills has been ringing this week. Free kick to Weston. 13.5 gone here on Bar TV. Brought to you by Top Better, this match of the round. They are our broadcast partners for all the winner codes this season. So great to have them on board. Get in the game with Top Better. There's Morris looking short. Couldn't find it with the low pass. Snedden on the ball for Weston now. Morris looking over the top. Looking for Mick Ryan. Ryan, he's got Stevens outside him. Stevens looking towards the middle, but Alex Burrell doing well. And then his ball off Ryan and over for a goal kick for Bayana Marco. Bayana Marco representing Kazakhstan at under 16s level. Another player from the Central Coast competition to come into the NPL this year, and he was fairly impressive in the only match that I've seen Valentine play against Maitland until the last minute where his clearance deflected off Matt Thompson, and Matt Thompson put it into an empty net. They lost that game in the last minute. Here's Ryan. Back to Morris. Ryan again under pressure from Reese Pettit, but free kick goes against him. Probably a harsh call.
From the bit send-off, there was a penalty, which Blake Thompson's converted, so it's now 1-1 at Adamstown Oval.
Here's it's played through. Ridge Marpu just getting in front of Lee Ashton there. And over for a goal kick. So Blake Thompson getting on the board for the first time this season for Maitland, their captain. Just that match this afternoon, and this one going ahead as Snedden just pushes Swaddling aside.
A definite free kick there.
Those other results, Hamilton winning 3-2 against Edgeworth on Friday night, from all reports was a cracking match, and yesterday Magic put the sword to the Jets youth 4-1, and Charlestown in an upset, you'd say, 3-1 over Lambton. Swaddling. They've been playing well this year, Charlestown, but they have had a relatively easy draw. Lambton was probably their first match against a tough side, and they came through it with flying colours. Weston with a free kick. Burrell and Ryan in a little bit of push and shove. Still a little bit of push and shove out there.
Yeah, a bit of feeling out there.
And here's Rowan, a lovely ball played for Lachlan Rowan. He plays it into the middle. There was an offside. Gee, that's a late whistle from the referee. Rowan running through, playing it in towards the middle for Mitch Wallace. Playing for South Cardiff last year, he played 10 matches for 2 goals, so he knows how to find the back of the net, Mitch Wallace. In a side which didn't score too many goals last year, South Cardiff.
Fair bit of banter out there at the moment, Ben. I think shows how much is on the line today for both sides.
Well, Valentine's coach Darren Sill's actually the assistant coach at Weston last year, so bit of connection there. Darren Sill's looking forward to coming up to Weston today for this big clash against his former club. Here's Lee Ashton, another one of that formerly played for South Cardiff. Still Lee Ashton swerving inside McGinley. Valentine doing well in defence. Scott McGinley goes to Will Camp. Looking for Swaddling. Nathan Morris just too strong on that occasion. Wallace. Back to Macbeth. Rob Macbeth. 1 goal last season in his 9 matches. He scored it against the Jaffers in round 2. Remember that one, the first goal of the match. They won that game 2-1. Weston started last season off brilliantly. They're in the top 4 by the halfway stage. It fell away towards the back end of the season. Here's Olzema. Brenton Olzema, formerly of Edgeworth. Still Olzema. Macbeth across to Pettit. Still Pettit under pressure from Gary McDermott, I should say. Will Cam. Lee Ashton coming back to do the defensive work on Cam. Ridge Marpu now. In towards the middle, and Lachlan Rowan, he's been good so far. Only a handful of first grade matches, and he's been impressive at left back for Weston. Macbeth. Lee Ashton looking for Stevens, but his pass misdirected straight to Bainamarco.
I've been impressed with Reese Pettit from Valentine as well. His work rate there in the midfield has been outstanding. So, as we alluded to earlier, maybe Coach Seals' younger legs. Obviously, McClintley being a fair bit older, he's added some variety to their attack in there. So, we'll see what emanates during the course of the game.
Well, played a lot of 22s games last year, Reese Pettit, for the Jets under-18s. He's been starring in the Buzz and Woody show I've been seeing on Valentine Ellibana FC, their Facebook page. So, good to see him having a bit of fun. Valentine, their first season back in the top flight. Snedden getting under and looking for Mitch Wallace. Ridge-Mapu, too much pace there. And there was an offside anyway, so Valentine with another free kick. Almost 20 minutes gone. Match of the round on Bar TV. It's been an entertaining one so far. It's the home side, Weston and Valentine all locked up at 0-0. Who's going to break the drought for each of these clubs? No goals since round 1 for Weston and round 2 for Valentine. Free kick for Valentine. Here's a chance for them now.
Yeah, if you're a Valentine supporter, I'm sure you're looking for Bretton Olsheimer to be that person. Scored a brace in the first game from memory. Ben, was it?
He scored 2 against Maitland and he scored a goal in round 1.
Yeah, so natural striker, as you said earlier, from Edgeworth last year. So you'd be looking for somebody like him. Weston, obviously Ryan or Wallace or a Nathan Morris special free kick.
Here's Swaddling on his left foot. It's a nice hit. Wand knocks it away. Collision with Nathan Morris. Bit of miscommunication. Wand just holding his shoulder. Lee Ashton under pressure from Swaddling. And Weston with the throw.
Yeah, don't know what occurred there. It looked like it was a keeper's ball all the way, but...
And Morris just getting in front of him. Saved plenty of goals for Weston, Nathan Morris, in his years up here at Bear Park, and he's also scored plenty for them as well from the set piece. Snedden going back to Wand. Snedden goes to Rowan. Nathan Morris across to Stevens.
Wand still struggling with that shoulder as the ball goes to the other end of the park.
Didn't look good. Alex Burrell now. Back to Bayanamako. Looking across to Serapis, but beats him over the sideline. Throw going the way of Weston. Those other scores this afternoon in the under-19s. Weston got up 5-0 over Valentine. And Valentine scoring a late winner in the 22s to win that one 3-2. Here's a ball in the middle. Mitch Wallace going up. Bayanamako just got a hand to it. Knocked it away. Darren Cooper. Up the line looking for Olsheimer, but Zach Snedden's there first. Goes to Macbeth. McDermott. Back to Morris. Fakes to go across the ground and now down the line to Rowan. Scott McGinley's there. His pass deflecting back infield for Ryan. Lee Ashton now goes back to Zach Snedden. His ball off Reese Pettit. Going back to Greg Anderson. Anderson back to Wand. Still holding that shoulder there, James Wand, as he went to kick that one, that collision with Nathan Morris.
He's just indicated to the bench he's no good.
Which is not good for Weston at all because they're down Ben Kelly, who's been suspended. So I'm thinking they've got Jed Horder on the bench. Now, I don't know much about Jed Horder, but I'm thinking he's their 19s keeper. Is that right, Gary?
He is. Jed Horder only became a goalkeeper in the last 2 or 3 years. I've had a bit to do with Jed Horder in his younger life, but we'll just see what happens here, obviously, and if he gets on, I'll give you a bit of a background.
Here's Burrell. Going up the ground, looking for Chris Brown. Chris Brown, experienced campaigner. Swaddling now. Lets it run for Serapis. Now turned over. Mitch Wallace on the ball. Plays it through for Ryan. Mick Ryan, he chips it over. Bayanamako into the bar. He was looking for his first goal for Weston in 2016. Back from retirement, Mick Ryan. And the ball just wouldn't dip for him, Gary.
Just didn't dip enough. Hit the underside of the bar, but came out. So great move by Weston. Good vision by Ryan, but unlucky.
And James Wand has gone down here. It's that left shoulder, that collision with Nathan Morris a few minutes ago. The 24 and a half minutes gone, the match of the round here on Bar TV this afternoon. Weston up against Valentine. Weston in 8th on the ladder, Valentine in 9th. Both sides needing a victory this afternoon. So James Wand just down injured. Looks like he may be coming from the ground. So Jed Horder is going to come on, who's their 19's goalkeeper. Trevor Morris just having a chat to him.
Okay, the Jed Horder story. I coached Jed at a school, being Talara Public School. When he was a young fella, he was a aspiring midfielder fullback. He joined the Western Bears as a 13-year-old.
Side number 3, at number 30, James Wand's been replaced by number 1, Jed Horder.
As a 13-year-old, as a midfielder fullback style player, and then Western 17s 1 year he trialled for a goalkeeping position. He's only been a goalkeeper for 2 years, 17s last year for Western and 19s this year. So he made some decent saves in the 22s game. I got out here earlier and watched that game, and he's a lovely young kid. He's only 17 years of age. So all the best to him today.
Chris Brown, no luck with goalkeepers this afternoon. In the other game, Adamstown and Maitland locked at 1-1. Adamstown's keeper, Paul Bitts, he's been sent off, so already half the goalkeepers that started this round, that started this afternoon's games, I should say, off the ground. Nathan Morris, Zach Snedden taken down by Reece Pettit, and Weston with the free kick. Jed Horder's going to go across and take it for the Bears now. And he sliced his first free kick in first grade over the sideline there, Gary.
Have to be nerves, you'd imagine.
Here's Brenton Olzema playing it across towards Josh Swaddling. Swaddling goes down. Oh, a little bit of a bump. Snedden and Swaddling. So here is Serapis. Here's a shot. Good save from Jed Horder. Crowd giving him a round of applause there.
Yeah, no real appeals about that from the Valentine faithful, so I think it might have been just a bit of a bump between both.
Here's Lee Ashton across the ground. He's played it straight to Serapis, who goes to Olzema. Still Brenton Olzema. Across, he finds Will Cam. Back to Pettit, who has the shot off the bar. We've rattled the woodwork twice this afternoon. First, Mick Ryan for Weston, and then Reece Pettit almost grabbing his first of the season.
Yeah, he struck that quite well, Pettit. And again, as you said, Ben hits the bar.
McGinley across to Ridge Marpu. Now Will Cam. Zach Stedden up the line now for Mitch Wallace. He's got Scott McGinley in front of him, who's been impressive in defence already this afternoon. McDermott. Back to Mick Ryan. McDermott again. Has the shot. Deflection takes the power out of it, and Bayana Marco makes an easy save there and goes now to McGinley. Darren Cooper. Darren Cooper, another product of the Central Coast competition. Been good for Valentine in the midfield this season. Goes down and wins the free kick.
Yeah, I think both Valentine and Charlestown, who have some products from that competition, have been quite impressed with their acquisitions this year, and it's great to see that those young players are looking for a chance in the Northern New South Wales NPL. So handy acquisition to both sides.
Yeah, there's no NPL competition down the Central Coast, so a lot of players coming up for this competition. Lachlan Rowan putting that one on his non-preferred right foot over the sideline. Here's Ridge Marpu spinning and turning around now. Still Ridge Marpu takes on Rob Macbeth, gets inside him. Zach Snedden comes across. Will Cam, cross to Pettit. Turned over, Lachlan Rowan up the line. McGinley's ball straight into the middle of the ground for Gary McDermott. Gary McDermott going across to Wallace. He'll run this down. But again, it's McGinley. It's there to do the defensive work. Back to Ashton. McDermott again. Morris. To McDermott. Bring it wide to Zach Snedden. Snedden down the line. Finding Lachlan Rowan in towards the middle. Wallace can't get there. Stevens couldn't either, and Serapis clears it away towards Darren Cooper. Who beautiful control from Darren Cooper. Olsema fouled by Greg Anderson. Valentine with a relieving free kick there.
Alex Serapis, another story, a Hamilton product that came to the Valentine club this year looking for first grade football. Obviously with the acquisitions made by the Hamilton Olympic Club, Alex thought he may have struggled to play first team football there, so came out to Valentine, and it's been a very good acquisition for their club.
Here's Ridge Marpu on the ball. Yeah, Alex Serapis represented Australia in youth futsal actually in the past, so he's got a lot of skill, Alex Serapis, and he showed that for Valentine already this season. Another free kick for Valentine in a good attacking position. Josh Swadling has looked good on his left foot, those free kicks. He's actually a Jetstar flight attendant, Josh Swadling, so he can't always train and play. Swadling across towards the middle. Jed Horter came out. Greg Anderson was there too, and I think came off him and over for a corner kick, and it's going to be Swadling on that left foot. This is going to be a dangerous ball from the corner.
Yeah, baptism of fire now for Jed Horter.
He's got Brenton Olsema who's going to stand right on him. Here's Swadling's ball in. Reese Pettit bumping over Greg Anderson. No whistle from the referee. Here's McGinley. Didn't get much on that cross into the middle. Wallace back to Morris. Now Stevens. Nathan Morris again. Finding McDermott. Brings it across to Anderson. Anderson looking for Lachlan Rowan. Ridge Marpu can't get there with the head. But recovers and plays it back to Bayana Marco. Gets the clearance away before Mitch Wallace got there. Zach Snedden's header. He wasn't in the best position. They just couldn't readjust in time, and Valentine with the throw now for Will Cam. Still Swadling on the ball. Goes back to Chris Brown. Stabbing it in towards the middle. Chris Brown, Olsema. Reese Pettit with a shot. And there's an offside against Valentine on this near side. Flag goes up. And still, even though it wasn't offside, Reese Pettit's shot off the post. Neither of these two sides can buy a goal. It's incredible, Gary.
My commentator's curse from earlier, is coming back to haunt us. So
33 minutes, so we can add that to the stats that we had at the start of the game for the amount of time these two sides haven't scored a goal in the competition. Weston yet to be beaten up here at Rockwell Automation Park this season. They had a 3-3 draw with the Jets Youth, and they had a 0-0 draw with Broadmeadow Magic, and that was impressive. To keep Broadmeadow scoreless says a lot about your defence with the players they have. Cale Bradbury and James Vigili. Peter Haynes. It's an impressive lineup, and Weston did well to keep them scoreless. Valentine now with the free kick.
Even more so with Weston virtually having a brand new fullback line this year. Ben with 3 of their players from last year obviously going to the Maitland club, and an injury to Nick Thompson at the moment from a broken arm in a FFA Cup game. So their 4 fullbacks from last year are all aren't playing at the moment.
Yeah, pretty much Maitland's backline is Weston's backline from last season. Brock Oakley, Carl Thornton at the back, Liam Thornton as well, going to Maitland, and Blake Thompson, who was at Maitland last season, their captain. He's the only member of Maitland's backline that is the same as what it was last year. So,
and obviously today with Robbie Turnbull being out, he's been playing at left back, but yeah, so good testament to their defence. As you said, I know Trevor Morris quite well, and he is a big advocate for having your defence in order first.
And we saw that last season for Weston. They had the second best defence in the competition, 26 goals in the competition. Their attack probably letting them down in the end. They only scored the 24 goals last season, Weston. This goes to Jed Horder, which was the fourth lowest, actually, 24 goals last season. They had the fourth lowest attack, but they had the second best defence. Finished the competition in fifth. The last couple of rounds they had it was in their power, and they just couldn't get the job done. They went down to Magic here 1-0 in round 17, and then Edgeworth 3-1 it. Jack McLaughlin in the final round. Across to Stevens. Now with Macbeth. Olzema. Back to Reese Pettit. There's some space here for Reese Pettit. He's got Darren Cooper. He's also got Swadling. Swadling. Tough challenge from Zach Snedden. Putting his body on the line. Winning the ball for Weston. McGinley. Ridge Marpu. Chris Brown across to Serapis. Looking for Swadling. Rowan did well again. And Greg Anderson taking out, should win the free kick and does. But Gary Lachlan Rowan, he's been very impressive at left back for Weston.
Yeah, another product that's come through the junior system here, or the youth system here at Weston. Has bided his time. He's been around for a long while. I think Lachlan would be 2021. And yeah, natural left footer, as you've alluded to during the call. So great to see him given an opportunity today and take the most of it at this stage.
Here is Serapis down the far side of the ground for Valentine. Olzema in the middle. Will Cam also arriving. Just a bit too far. And Lachlan Rowan put the commentator's curse on him.
I've called for goals and now I've wrapped him and he kicks the ball out. I'll give Jed Horder a wrap. Anyway.
Here's Swadling with the throw for Valentine. Olzema just inside the box. Snedden can't wrap him up. Back to Pettit. Not afraid to have a shot. Serapis. Serapis trying to get around Stevens. He was too strong. Valentine with the corner. Olzema going over to have a chat to Rob Digby about something. Not impressed with the treatment he's been getting. Three goals this season. 3 goals in the opening 2 rounds. And since then, Valentine's goals have dried up. That 2-0 defeat at Adamstown, followed by a 2-0 defeat at home last week by the Jaffers. Serapis goes in. Burrell was over his head, and McDermott going out, and Mitch Wallace.
Yeah, it's not for a lack of trying from Valentine. They had their chances last week. They had a great shout for a penalty during the early part of the second half. Similar to today, had some shots that were just sprayed wide and were over the top of the bar. So they're creating things, but I'm sure Coach Darren Seals would like to see some of that creativity lead to goals.
Here's Cooper. If you just joined us, 2 shots already hitting the bar from either side. It was Mick Ryan for Weston with a chip over the top of Bayana Marco, and then Reese Pettit hitting the crossbar for Valentine. So it's been a pretty even contest. Either side able to break their goal scoring drought. Stevens. Looking up the line, he only finds Alex Burrell. Look towards Olzema. Nathan Morris got there first. Macbeth back to Snedden. Zach Snedden, it's been reported throughout the week, playing this season in defence. And here's Rob Macbeth cleaning up Darren Cooper. And Rob Macbeth goes in to the book for a yellow card. Not quite sure what he was trying to do there, Rob Macbeth. Just came in with a...
Yeah, no, it was laid off the ball, so rightfully a yellow card handed to him.
Just welcoming Darren Cooper to Rockwell Automation Park.
He loves a physical battle, Rob Macbeth, but probably a tad too far on that occasion. Long-serving Western Bear Rob Macbeth.
We've also I've also heard, Gary, that he's the Bears calendar boy. Do you know what that involves?
Probably getting his shirt off. He loves the beach.
I was
He's a bit of a
something around
surfer.
those lines.
Body of Adonis, as they say. So, no surprises there.
Here's Darren Cooper. Darren Cooper won't be thinking that. There's now Reese Pettit. Still Reese Pettit. Going down the line. Pettit looking for Will Cam. Zach Snedden just getting his boot in time. Still Will Cam able to keep control of the ball. Lovely skill from him. Plays it into Lachlan Rowan and over for another corner for Valentine. Just building the pressure now. The Phoenix. Since James Wand went off injured, Valentine probably with the best of the chances. Weston's under-19s keeper, Jed Horder in goals. Swaddling whips it in. Morris, the near post, heads it away towards Ridge Marpu. Plays it to Darren Cooper. Rob Macbeth coming after him again. And Darren Cooper, hopefully he's all right here. Sometimes the innocuous injuries are the ones that are the worst, and didn't look good there. It's his left knee, and he's still limping heavily, but back to the play. Ashton going to Wallace. Looks to be fine now. Darren Cooper into Darren Cooper's hand. Nathan Morris trying to take it quickly. Decides against it. Morris goes to Rowan. McDermott. Will Cam coming across and taking down Rowan. He'll go into the book. Now Will Cam for a yellow card. And Swaddling and McDermott having a little chat.
There's plenty happening out there at the moment. A lot of talk. A few innocuous challenges.
I think both sides probably a little bit frustrated. 0-0 still.
Yeah, probably frustrated they missed those chances. Unable to capitalise on some good lead-up work at both ends of the park.
Here's Nathan Morris. Looking across towards Lee Ashton. Couldn't find him. And also Mitch Wallace there at the back post. Serapis trying to get around Stevens. Couldn't do so. Cooper dispossessed beautifully by Stevens. Now McDermott. Chance for Weston. Wallace has a shot with his left, but not enough power. Bain and Marco was straight to him as well. And another good chance for Weston. He's coming back into the contest a little bit before half-time. Ball down the line now for Swaddling. Snedden gets in front of him and wins the free kick. Swaddling taking him down.
We've had a goal at Adamstown Oval, scored by Matt Cumberford from Maitland, making the score Maitland 2, Adamstown 1.
It's been impressive this year, Matt Cumberford. First goal, I'm pretty certain, for them this season. So Mick Ryan heading it on. McGinley up the line and over the sideline. 43 minutes gone. The match of the round here on Bar TV in round 5. It's Weston Bears up against Valentine Phoenix. Brought to you by Top Better, major broadcast partner of all the winner codes this year on Bar TV. Also got the Dusthund House Man of the Match to give away for this afternoon's match. So see who Gary can come up with for our man of the match this afternoon. Chris Brown, back to Burrell. It's probably hard to pick it.
Hard to pick at this stage, obviously.
Reese Pettit, is he on? He has been called onside, Reese Pettit. In towards Olsma. Nathan Morris there again.
He did well there, Morris. Tracked his runner well.
Like a thief in the night. Just got there at the last minute, and Darren Cooper takes down Rob Macbeth.
Bit of a square up there, I think, Ben, from the previous incident.
And Darren Cooper went to shake Rob Macbeth's hand, and Rob Macbeth was having none of it there. There's a bit of feeling in this one this afternoon. Here's Greg Anderson playing it towards Stevens. Stevens over towards Wallace. Bahana Marco gets up. Does a good job in the end. As we tick down towards half-time, you'd think we probably have a little bit of added time after the injury to James Wan. took up a couple of minutes, I think.
Yeah, you'd say it'd be a few minutes added on.
Here's McGinley towards Ridge Marpu. Getting inside Rowan. Olzema playing it wide to Will Cam. Down towards the byline, still Will Cam. Snedden doing well in defence again. Zach Snedden, he's been good this afternoon for Weston. Now to Lee Ashton. Reese Pettit taken down, so good chance for Valentine before half-time now. So we just tick into stoppage time in the first half. Here's Swaddling. Good ball in over towards Olzema. Just couldn't keep the header down. Sorry, it's Alex Burrell with the header there. Just couldn't keep it down.
Yeah,
the tallest player in
He is the tallest
side.
player out there, but yeah, just couldn't quite control it.
Olzema up there as well in the height department. Got some tall men up front. Valentine this afternoon. Reese Pettit as well. Jed Horder, his goal kick on the head of Reese Pettit, but Weston win it back. Zach Snedden now. Across to Lee Ashton. Goes towards Rob Macbeth. Turns inside beautifully from Swaddling, and then his ball looks a little heavy, and he is. And it'll just be a goal kick for Valentine before the break. Here's Bainer Marco slicing this one. Lee Ashton gets his head to it. Valentine with the throw. And that is half-time up here at Rockwell Automation Park. Round 5 of the PlayStation 4 Northern New South Wales NPL. And it's the home side Weston 0 and the visitors Valentine Phoenix 0 at half-time. It's been a pretty even contest in the first half, Gary. What were your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, pretty even, pretty open game. Both sides had their chances, as you've alluded to during the commentary. Both sides hitting the post. I'd slightly put Valentine in front of Weston in relation to the chances and field possession in their half. But obviously for Weston, the injury to James Wand, young Jed Horder out there. So we'll see what the second half brings.
So half-time, we'll be back in 10 minutes. It's Weston 0, Valentine 0. Hello and welcome back to Rockwell Automation Park for the second half of this clash. Weston Bears up against Valentine Phoenix. 0-0 at half time. Just awaiting the referees to coming out for the second half. And really, Gary, this match, either side could win it.
Yeah, it's there for the taking, Ben, either side. Somebody needs to just take the game by the scruff of the neck and assert their authority on it. So we'll see what the second half brings.
Weston this season, 2 matches here at Rockwell Automation Park, a couple of draws. Valentine yet to get a point from an away fixture this season. Just waiting for Rob Digby. Hands the ball over. Nathan Morris and Rob Macbeth will get us underway. We're underway in the second half. And it's going to be Lee Ashton on the ball. Going back to Rowan. Morris. Turned over. Reese Pettit going down.
Might be a yellow card early.
Very early yellow card. Gary McDermott going to the book. Should say that Valentine, they have grabbed a point away from home. That's at home. They haven't grabbed a point. Their only point coming away from home against Charlestown in round 1. 2-2 draw.
Yeah, you look at that game, Ben, and since then Charlestown have gone on a great run, sitting on 11 points on the competition, and Valentine still remaining.
It's amazing. Both sides have gone
near the end of the ladder.
Yeah, opposite directions, really. Here's Darren Cooper. Back to Swaddling. He hits with his left foot. And that one well over the goal mouth of Jed Horder, I should say, in goals for Weston. Came on midway through the first half after the injury to James Wand. Goes up over halfway. And now Macbeth back to Snedden. That other score, as we said at half time, it was Maitland with a 2-1 lead over Adamstown, who were down to 10 men yet again after Paul Bitts was sent off in the first half. There's now the ball with McDermott. Back to Ashton. Ashton playing it wide towards Stevens. Stevens just inside the byline. Brings it back now to Ashton. Now spinning is Mick Ryan. Had his shot hit the crossbar in the first half. Darren Cooper with a bump on Ashton. I think it went over the byline first there, Gary.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gone over that back byline. There was no...
Back across the face after across the line. And Bainamarco with a goal kick early on in the second half now for Valentine. Interestingly, Weston last season at home only scored the 7 goals. They only conceded 8 as well, so they don't concede many at home and they don't score many at home normally. And that was in 9 matches. Here's Swaddling. Swaddling with a shot on his left, and he scuffs it over towards the corner flag.
Yeah, made a decent run there, but messed up the shot. Yeah, I guess the view in the league is when you come to Weston, no matter where you are on the ladder or where they are on the ladder, you're always in for a battle. Always a bit of a dogfight, as was evident by Broadmeadow Magic game there a few weeks ago, as their assistant coach sends me a text.
So it's so interesting. 7 goals scored at home last year, 8 conceded, and then away from home they scored 17 and conceded 18 in exactly the same amount of matches. So incredible stat there for Weston. Here's Chris Brown, and I'm pretty certain, Gary, you didn't do too many games commentary on the match of the round with me last year, but one of the ones you did do was a 1-0 win Weston had up here against Edgeworth. That was an impressive win for them. It was backs to the wall. It was a backs to the wall job. Edgeworth absolutely dominated them, and they came away with a point. Carl Thornton with the goal that day.
Yeah, I do recall that game, Ben. You're 100% correct.
Here's Olzema stepping outside Snedden. They both go down. The referee goes Valentine's way. And it's going to be a free kick in a very, very good position for the Phoenix to see if they can break the drought finally.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be either Swaddling or Brenton Olzoma who will take this kick. Yeah, that day against Edgeworth, Edgeworth totally dominated the fixture, and a Carl Thornton goal was the only goal scored and resulted in a Weston victory.
It was a booming header from Carl Thornton that day down the other end of the ground.
It'll be Olzoma.
Here's Brenton Olzema, hits the free kick, and not one of his best efforts, blazing it wide. Couldn't take his tally up to 4 goals for the season.
And that just highlights what I said earlier, and you're always in for a battle. Obviously, Edgeworth were flying high last season, top of the ladder at that stage as well, and playing a brilliant brand of football. But travel up here, you always know you're in for a battle.
There's Swaddling, the bump, and coming to blows with Ashton there, shoulder to shoulder. Stevens now showing plenty of toe, and Garrett's almost taken out your car, I think, there.
Yes, I know. He might have something against me. So
Bayana Marco with, I think, actually the Magic game against the Jaffs a couple of weeks ago. I think your car got taken out, actually, the Northern New South Wales car. It's got a target on it this year.
There's a large football on the bonnet, so they want to aim for it. That's okay.
Here's Serapis just keeping it inside. Mick Ryan back to Morris. Morris playing it through. Mitch Wallace just offside.
Yeah, definitely offside there.
I'm just calculating the time without a goal now. I wonder what there wouldn't be any records kept for the PS4 Northern New South Wales NPL, but I tell you what, this would have to be up there for both these two sides. 351 minutes for Weston and 250 odd for Valentine. Almost 6 hours of football for Weston. That's a long time.
That's a long time.
Ridge Marpu going towards Olzema. Pettit getting in there, and it should just sit up inside the line in front of Morris. But Nathan Morris too strong. Rowan plays short pass to Morris. Now Rob Macbeth looking towards Mick Ryan, but Alex Burrell's there to intercept. Cooper. Back to Burrell. Cooper again. Off down the far side of the ground now. Darren Cooper. Reese Pettit now. Valentine just sizing up the opportunity. Olzema going down. And now with Burrell. And now with away with Mitch Wallace, who's stolen the ball for Weston. McGinley. McGinley's been very strong at the back for Valentine, shoring up their defence. Serapis can't cut inside Nathan Stevens. And now Swaddling goes towards the middle. Header away from Rowan, not one of his best efforts. Will Cam. Olzema back to Pettit with a shot. And he blazes it wide. And both these two sides just lacking that
lacking
finishing.
that final touch, mate.
That's
exactly right. That was a great move by Valentine there. Well set up, well constructed. Nice ball back to Reese Pettit, but blazed the shot over the top.
Rich Marpu over near the sideline for Valentine. Takes off. Rowan comes across. Does well in defence. Great interception now for Snedden, who's off for Weston now. He's got Wallace on his left. He goes across to Mitch Wallace. Plenty of players flooding forward for Weston now. McDermott. His touch probably a bit heavy, but Macbeth's able to run it down. That's great work from Rob Macbeth. He's got Valentine players all over him. McDermott into the middle. Burrell heads it away. Only player this season to score for Weston. Gary McDermott scored a hat-trick in round 1 against the Jets, who have the leakiest defence in the competition. 16 goals to date in their 4 matches. They lack defenders, the Jets youth side. Very young side this season. Lost a lot of experience. Here's Ryan in towards the middle. Burrell's there again. And now with Reese Pettit. Valentine in 2015, Alex Burrell, and he has been very impressive this afternoon. Scott McGinley as well, Gary. He's been great at the back for Valentine.
Both the centre halves have played a great role this afternoon in shutting down the Western attack. Alex Burrell in particular, as you said, but also with the change that Sills has made in respect to McGinley and Reese Pettit has probably worked wonders for their side. It hasn't led to any goals, but from what I saw last week at Valentine, their attack is far, far more creative this week than what it was previously.
Wallace going down.
Just a quick update from Adamstown Oval. Cumberford scored a brace against his former club, so it's now 3-1 to Maitland.
Graham Law up against his former club in Maitland. Took the lead 1-0, and then it all went to pieces for Adamstown. Paul Bitts getting sent off, and since then it's been all one-way traffic. Blake Thompson and Matt Cumberford making it 3-1. Matt Cumberford, as Gary said, with a brace, and Blake Thompson putting the penalty past Jake Hamilton. I'm pretty sure it would have come on for Adamstown. Here is Reese Pettit down in the corner. And it's going to be a corner kick for Valentine. You'd think Josh Swadling will go over and take this. He is.
Left foot in swinger.
Jed Horter probably hasn't been threatened since he's come on. He had that one shot from Reese Pettit hitting the post, but apart from that,
yeah, he hasn't had to make a great save or anything that's denied a goal. So
Cooper back to Brown. He's got 3 Western players between him and the rest of his side. He does well to go to Serapis, who dropped back. Pettit turning on the ball. Reese Pettit brings it wide to Ulzima. Ulzima now to Cooper. Still Darren Cooper playing it now towards Serapis, who's spun and shot and wins another corner for Valentine. The Western's defence, they just smother everything, don't they?
Yeah, it's smothering type defence, but plenty of attack here from Valentine.
Both these two sides have only conceded 9 goals, which is the best of the bottom 5. Showing that these two got their defence in order. It's probably just the attack letting him down. Here's
Burrell.
the header in. It's over the top. Alex Burrell, I think, it's scored. And unfortunately for Jed Horter, has found its way through his grasp and took a nasty deflection, I think.
Yeah, it did take a deflection. That put Jed Horter off. But, yeah, Burrell, great contact, great side head contact. Took a deflection then. Jed was sort of looking for it to go lower, and it's ended up into the top part of the net. So Valentine probably deserved that. That's been coming for a little period now. They've dominated the second half.
And the drought is over for Valentine. Still goes on for Weston. Chris Brown with the header away. See what Weston can muster now. We know, as we said from last year, they don't score too many here at Bear Park. Here's a yellow card for Stevens. Cynical challenge on Serapis. See how Weston can respond. They can rest on the fact that when they've conceded at home this year, they have scored. So
yep, if they. Yeah, definitely not out of it. They just seem to have come out of the sheds rather flat, to be honest. It's been all Valentine in this second half.
Here's Ulzima turning on the ball, playing it wide to Pettit. Pettit a chance to shoot. Probably was going wide, but it hit McDermott. And Weston with the free kick. McDermott. Is this going to be a yellow card? It always has confused me, this rule, where you have to get the mark first. You have to get the mark first before you can kick it into someone and they get a yellow card. I'm pretty certain, trying to work that out.
Yeah, I think you're right in your assessment there.
Macbeth, Digby not giving the mark, so Valentine fine to stand there. Here's Reese Pettit stealing the ball now, but you just sense the energy in this game's just gone up to another level now. Weston trying to find that equaliser.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll lift. They'll know they're in a contest now. Probably the goal was a bit of a wake-up call for them. As I said, they looked to have come out of the sheds flat. So, although Valentine make a break down the right.
Yeah, Will Cam just unable to run it down. Zach Snedden goes back to Greg Anderson. His touch was very, very heavy. And he bumps over Olzema and wins the free kick. Does Brenton Olzema. Probably just frustrated of his first touch, Greg Anderson there.
Ideal spot for Swaddling again with his in-swingers. Another score at Adamstown Oval. Maitland 4, lead of Adamstown 1. Jai McKellar, the goal scorer.
That's raining goals at Adamstown. Not yet here at Weston, just the one Alex Burrell a few moments ago. Here's Swaddling with that left foot. Goes towards the back post. Burrell cannot keep it in. And it'll be a goal kick for Weston. So that gap really opening up in the ladder now with Maitland, you'd think, getting the job done now over Adamstown, leading 4-1, probably half an hour to go. That'll take them to 8, and there'd be a gap of 5 points between 5th and 6th now on the ladder. Valentine will go up to 4, so it'll reduce it. Currently on the live ladder, it's a 4-point gap between 5th and 6th. As here is Wallace back towards the middle. Ryan across to Macbeth. Swaddling getting back, getting his foot in, but it deflects across to Rowan. Back into the middle, plays at Ashton. Valentine was McGinley that just got back in the nick of time. Just going to sleep there a little bit, Valentine at the back. And now Weston with a corner kick. Rob Macbeth looks to be going over to take it for the Bears. Tell you what, Gary, you've got a feel for Graham Law. He's had injuries, he's had red cards, Dan Clements is out for, I think, 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, it could even be more. They're uncertain at this stage. That'll lead to a corner to Weston down there. But, yeah, feel for him at the moment. He's had some injury concerns. Goalkeeper send-off seems like every second week.
As here is Rob Macbeth. Serapis now on the inside for Cooper. A chance for Valentine to really break this game wide open. Across to McGinley, who's pushed right up the ground. Across to Serapis. He copped a bump from Snedden. Serapis into the middle. Greg Anderson across, and I think it came off Stevens. Well, I thought there was a handball there, but the referee just gives the goal kick instead. Jed Horder with the goal kick. Morris to Ashton. Now to Macbeth. Now with Stevens. Snedden now. Lachlan Rowan cutting inside from that left edge for Weston. Mick Ryan turning. They've got some space for Gary McDermott. And knocked away over the sideline for Valentine now. Wallace back to Macbeth. Reese Pettit on the ball now. Pumping Wallace away, but Wallace wins it back for Weston. Pettit comes back at him. And taken down. Weston with a free kick. Such an interesting change, Gary. McGinley going to the back last season. He was their point of attack, 20 goals in 22 matches. And today being put at centre back.
Yeah, wasn't aware that Coach Sills was going to do that, but as we said earlier, he saw something. I can't fault McGinley's role back there today. He's been one of their best. And that of Reese Pettit as well. He's been very busy in the midfield and is asking questions of the Western attack and defence with his work rate.
So Nathan Morris just asked to move the ball back a couple of steps. Bit of bumping and as you're jostling in the box, and the wall does its job. Morris straight into Chris Brown. He's actually missed 2 penalties this year, Scott McGinley. Had them both saved, one by Chris Berlin when Scott Carter was sent off, Adamstown's keeper. And And the other penalty was saved by Matt Trott, probably one of the best saves you'll see in the PS4 NPL in the Northern New South Wales NPL this season. Here's Chris Brown. Stevens. Cooper with the header away to Serapis. Into the middle. They're finding their passes, Valentine, this afternoon. Here's Pettit. Still going Reece Pettit. Olzema trying to play back to Pettit. He had Will Cam unmarked on the far side. And Snedden now. Down the far side, Zach Snedden. He goes to McDermott. McDermott lets it run for Wallace. Macbeth using the width of this pitch here at Rockwell Automation Park. Morris trying to play it through. McDermott flat-footed. And Bayana Marco in goals goes to Will Cam.
Probably the best tacking move of the game for Weston there. It flowed from the back right through, and yeah, just a misread by McDermott at the end.
Ashton across to Rowan. Rowan in towards the middle. He finds Mick Ryan. His header just trickles wide. And we're going to see a change. It's going to be Paul McGinley coming on for Valentine. Find out who is going to go off. Looks like Will Cam is coming over to the sideline.
Product of Tamworth, Will Cam. He's had a decent game today. Thought he was quite impressive against Lambton last week, but
he rides on the Rodeo circuit in the summer, actually.
Yeah,
so
I've heard that. Country boy.
Very interesting background for Will Cam. He goes off. Hasn't had too much of an impact this afternoon.
Side number 10, Will Cam's been replaced with 13, Paul McGinsley.
And now Cooper. Here's Reece Pettit getting right under it. And running down. Rowan goes back to Jed Horder in goals. Rowan again. Now the ball with Lee Ashton. Can he come up with something now for Weston? Macbeth. Back to Ashton. Lovely ball. Lee Ashton gets around Burrell. Ashton into the middle. Weston just going up a gear, you sense here, Gary. So that goes to wide to Mapu.
Yeah, reacted to the scoreline, obviously, with the Valentine coming out of the sheds and scoring early. So I'm sure we're going to be in for an interesting last 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, over just for a goal kick there for Weston. Alex Burrell, the goal scorer for Valentine. About 10 minutes ago now. The header, a little deflection. Got past Jed Horder. It's in goals after James Wand was injured. And Ben Kelly's been suspended just for this week for Weston. Pretty sure it's only the 1 week, is that right? Just
yeah,
the 1 week
just
for
the
Ben
1
Kelly.
week for Ben.
It was a straight red card last week, so I wasn't certain. There's Chris Brown. Now looking for Serapis. Went down. I didn't see any contact there on Serapis. He's whinging about the free kick, but didn't think there was too much in that.
Yeah, I didn't think there was anything in it.
Tried to win the free kick after Stevens went past him. Wallace. Very good at holding the ball up, Mitch Wallace. Couldn't do so on that occasion. Valentine with the free kick. Here's Burrell. Looking up the line, Reece Pettit unable to keep it in. Weston with the throw. Burrell just getting there in time. Darren Cooper now. Looking back for Pettit. Couldn't find him, and Weston through Ashton. Wide to Rowan.
There's been another player that's been busy for this afternoon for Valentine, Cooper. Been involved in a bit of a brouhaha, as they say, with Macbeth.
Very high work out. Here's Pettit towards the middle. Greg Anderson. The great interception there.
Glinley.
And now Olzema. And here is Ridge Mapu. Taking it down towards that far side of the ground for Valentine. Mapu in towards the middle. The header from Swadling's just wide. And that would have been a big blow for Valentine to strike there.
Perfect ball in by Ridge Mapu. Good contact by Swadling, but just couldn't keep the direction on it. And it went wide of the post.
Greg Anderson. Back towards the middle. What's going on here? Swadling. And Swadling, I'm not sure why he shot from outside the 18 there. Could have taken that a lot closer. Olsema was there.
Yeah, had Brenton Olsema with him as well. They could have easily committed the goalkeeper there and walked it into the net, but a bit of a brain explosion.
A lifeline there for Weston. And over the sideline, we'll see how they can respond to that now. Here's Ryan. In towards Morris now. Nathan Morris letting the ball run away from him. He's won plenty of games with his boot, Nathan Morris, and he puts that one wide.
Yeah, don't know what Swadling was thinking back there a moment ago. It was ideal chance for them to go to 2-0, and Valentine could have almost shut the game down then, but he's had a shot from just outside the 18 that went straight to the goalkeeper.
It goes up. Can't get his head to it, and now Stevens to Morris. Valentine looking for their first win in the PS4 Northern New South Wales NPL since they were promoted last season from the new FM division. Rowan nods it on towards Wallace. Back to Ashton. Plenty of space out here for Macbeth. Crowd appreciate that ball. It's a beautiful ball to Rob Macbeth. He takes on Chris Brown. Still Macbeth. Cutting it in towards the middle. Lee Ashton, Bainamarco with a great save. And there's Valentine players down everywhere. Bainamarco, I think one of them has been kicked. There was...
Yeah, McGlinley's down as well, I think. Ben?
They were trying to scramble at home, and Bainamarco...
Might have been a bit of friendly fire there, I think.
He's been impressive for Valentine this year, and that's a big save. That was straight at him from Lee Ashton. I'll be disappointed he didn't get...
He hit it well,
towards the corner.
Ashton, but... keeper did a great job there.
Rob Macbeth with the ball in to the middle. It was a great ball from Rob Macbeth, taking on Chris Brown. Trevor Morris will be hoping for more of the same from Rob Macbeth. Here's Swadling. Can't control Macbeth. The outside of the boot looking for Mick Ryan. Burrell back to Amarco. And now Stevens letting it go over the sideline for a throw for Weston. Nathan Stevens working his way into the Western first grade side after a few injuries after he's played for South Cardiff last season. Now playing in UFM division after they were relegated last season. Burrell. Now for Swadling. It's been turned over. Anderson looking for Morris, but he was under pressure from Swadling, which forced the pass wide. And now Rowan unable to get his boot on it, and Valentine will push forward now, looking for their second. Olsema across to Ridge Marpu. He's got Zach Snedden in front of him. He takes him on. He goes down just inside the box. Ridge Marpu holding his head. Didn't look like he was trying to win a penalty. Actually looks like he's injured there, Ridge Marpu. So he definitely didn't look like he was trying to win it.
I don't think he was trying to win a penalty. It's just
Zach Snedden going over to...
Yeah, Zach Snedden's just indicated some sort of head clash, I think. He's up on his feet, which is good to see.
So just over 28 minutes gone in the second half. Rockwell Automation Park, the venue for this round 5 match of the round clash between Weston and Valentine. Brought to you by Top Better. Get in the game with Top Better in 2016. Bar TV's major broadcast partner. Another major broadcast partner is Das Hundhaus, who we give our Man of the Match award to. Gary's going to come up with that. And we've got a free kick here for Weston. I think it was off the ball, a late on Lee Ashton. And Nathan Morris. We've said he's won plenty of games for Weston with his right boot. His head left boot, whatever you want.
This is his range probably, just outside the 18.
Well, here we go, Nathan Morris. This is
had one earlier that he's had a couple, but one from range earlier, he just played it into the box that led to almost a promising attack, except Lachlan Rowan was called offside. But we'll see what he brings here.
17 matches, 3 goals last year. Nathan Morris in towards Wallace. Burrell didn't know much about it, but he did the job. Came off his shoulder, I think. Swaddling. Out to Paul McGinley. He goes up the line looking for Olzema. Olzema will run that down. His troops still haven't arrived. Goes back to Paul McGinley. The only change Valentine have made in the second half. In the match, I should say. Olzema across the ground to Pettit. Playing it back towards Olzema. Brenton Olzema, can he get on the board again? Goes for the ball across into the middle for Serapis. Former Hamilton Olympic player last year. Weston with the free kick, and Serapis just wasn't there. And now Macbeth. Macbeth Reese Pettit getting back and doing a great job. Winning the free kick. Goes to McGinley. Now to Ridge Marpu. Still Ridge Marpu. He's got Rowan doing the defensive work in front of him. Now to Olzema. Olzema, he's got Swaddling wide. Swaddling tries to cut inside Greg Anderson. Gee, that's a strong challenge.
Yeah, great tackle, Greg Anderson.
Rob Macbeth now. In towards Lee Ashton. Darren Cooper putting pressure on him. Mick Ryan going down. Weston with the free kick. Weston fans getting a little restless now.
Yeah,
side down 1-0.
Clock ticking down.
Here is McDermott in towards the middle for Mitch Wallace. Marpu, well,
Shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, shoulder to shoulder, and I thought Wallace was off balance as well. And Snedden now. Wasn't enough in it to warrant a penalty, and it looks like Olzema is going to get a yellow card for the bump on Zach Snedden. Josh Swaddling just getting some tape on his left thigh in front of us. Here's Morris. And he's right again. Looking towards Macbeth. And again Weston pick out the keeper. Bain and Marco. Here's Marpu. Back to McGinley. Finds Olzema. Passing this afternoon from Valentine's been a whole lot better than what it was against Adamstown a couple of weeks ago. A disappointing 2-0 loss. Here's Serapis. Now Swaddling. Still Josh Swaddling. On that left boot towards the middle. Greg Anderson with the header away again. Weston's defence solid this afternoon. Once again, just a corner. Unlucky deflection. Alex Burrell with the header. Let's put Valentine ahead 1-0. Marpu over towards the sideline. Ridge Marpu still going. Across to Olzema. Still Olzema turns it over to Anderson. Macbeth. Weston, can they break quickly? They don't look to be doing so at the moment. Lee Ashton back to Rowan. Under pressure from Pettit. And now with Mitch Wallace. Just the one change from Weston. They're going to make their second, and Valentine are going to make their second as well. Just that forced change for Jed Horder going on for James Wan. Ball through now for Macbeth. Just too heavy. Jake Barner just by the sideline for Weston, and Josh Murray for Valentine. They're about to come on when the ball goes out. The ball goes out next. Greg Anderson. So still that same score, I'm thinking, at Adamstown.
It's just gone to 5-1. I was just trying to find out who the goal scorer was, but it is 5-1 now at Adamstown Oval.
5-1, Maitland over Adamstown. A red card again for Adamstown's keeper. This time it's Paul Bitts that's been sent off. Scott Carter's out for a few weeks. I think it's 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, I think it was 4 or 5, so...
He won't be back next week. You think Jake Hamilton will be in goals again for them. As here's Ridge Mapu going across. Gee, that's a great challenge from Ridge Mapu. Takes it from Lachlan Rowan. They've got a 4-on-3 here, Valentine. They've got plenty of space on this near side.
He's picked out Swaddling well. Touch might have let him down. Oh.
Well, great work from Gary McDermott.
Gary McDermott working back.
And now Weston with a chance to break themselves. Macbeth, he's got Stevens unmarked on this near side. He finds him. Nathan Stevens. Weston fans standing up here in the grandstand to get a better view of this Weston raid. Overcast skies over Rockwell Automation Park. Morris. Across to Rowan. Gets under it. Looks towards Macbeth. Wallace plays it back to McDermott. McDermott, can he do it again for Weston? Unable to get his... blocked well there by Valentine. Now Swaddling. Here it is, a 3-on-2. Olzema. Snedden again getting back.
Great stuff, Snedden.
Just proving both these sides' defences have been outstanding this afternoon. No goals from open play. Here's Lee Ashton. And Reese Pettit there again for Valentine. And we are going to finally see these changes. It's been a frantic few moments, and it will be Darren Cooper who's going to... No, he's not going to come from the ground, Darren Cooper. I was surprised to see him coming towards the sideline. It's Reese Pettit.
Reese Pettit. He's worked really hard, Reese Pettit. He's probably not used to that much leg work, being a central defender traditionally, so well done to him today. Great. Jakey Barner out to the left-hand side. He's a left footer for the Western Bears. And Benny Martin scored at Adamstown Oval to make it 6-1.
That would have sent the Maitland fans into raptures, Benny Martin getting on the board.
Probably sent Benny Martin into raptures. Sorry, Benny.
There's the ball in the middle. He was the star of the 2014 season where they were promoted, Maitland. So good to see him get on the board in 2016 as well. As now McDermott goes down. Here's the temperature just going up a little bit more. Burrell taking down McDermott. Burrell looks like he's going to go have a chat to Gary McDermott again in the box. And now Paul McGinley getting involved. A little bit of push and shove. Both sides know how important this match is. It's Morris again. Nathan Morris, normally with a ball on a string with the right boot. Here's Morris. Lovely ball in towards the back post. Mick Ryan, probably very similar to Alex Burrell in the first half, just couldn't keep it down from that far.
Yeah, almost identical. Great ball in by Morris. Good contact by Ryan, but just couldn't control the direction of it.
Bar TV match of the round, round 5. 8 minutes to go now. Rockwell Automation Park. Less than 8 minutes in regulation time. Valentine and Weston looking for their first victories of the season. It's Valentine with the advantage. Alex Burrell with the goal. About 12 minutes into the second half. Here is Gary McDermott playing it wide to Mick Ryan. Ryan in towards the middle. Bayanamako can't get hold of it. The shot well blocked by Ridge Mapu. Lachlan Rowan with the shot goes over. But what
great
defending.
Block there by Ridge Mapu.
Ridge Mapu putting his body on the line after Bayanamako dived out to a ball that he was nowhere near. And Ridge Mapu, that's a big play. That's a huge play.
Yeah, that's kept their lead there by Ridge Mapu. Just getting back to that other game, young Zach Thomas was the 5th goal scorer for Maitland. I think Zach's only a 16 or 17-year-old young boy, or young man. So great for him to get on the score sheet.
Not great for Adamstown fans there, but Maitland fans enjoying the trip into town. Here's McDermott getting right under this one, looking for Rowan. It's a lovely ball to Rowan. In towards the middle, Stevens. Cooper cleared away. Stevens still on the ground, the penalty area. Hops up, Serapis can't control, just behind him. Rob Macbeth goes to Morris. He's got space out to the left, Nathan Morris, with Lachlan Rowan, who's been very good for Weston this afternoon. Burrell now and Macbeth down in the corner. Throw going the way of Valentine. Chris Brown going down to take it. Chris Brown, the nephew of comedian Billy Connolly, actually.
There you go.
I didn't do any research. That was all Valentine FC's information they gave me. Here's Josh Murray, formerly playing for Lambton last year. Josh Murray had some pace to Valentine late on in the game after Reece Pettit came from the ground. Here's Darren Cooper. Here's Josh Murray. Now across to Swadling, who's over on that right-hand side now. Zach Snedden doing the jockeying. Now to Olzema. Greg Anderson away to Paul McGinley. Paul McGinley in towards Olzema with a header, and Benson Olzema has done it again for Valentine. That's his 4th now in 2016. And you'd think, Gary, that probably could be the nail in the coffin for Weston.
It could be it. They'll need to score rather quickly to get back into it. But great ball in by Paul McGinley. Perfectly put into the box. Olzema, great contact with the head. At close range, beat the young keeper, Jed Horder.
You don't. Well, Weston want to play on, and Valentine players are over on this near side having a drink. Weston wanting to play on quickly, but Valentine can't go to sleep here. Weston need to come at them hard for these next 5 minutes of regulation time plus stoppage time. And a 2-goal lead, it can be deceptive. Greg Anderson.
Yeah, it can be, but normally it's with a bit more time to go than 5 odd minutes. So
there was a game actually. That's why I never think a 2-goal lead, even with this amount of time. Sydney FC were up 2-0 and Victory scored 3 goals in about the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, remember that game.
From memory. Andrew Naboo, I think, scored the winner. Blast from the past. Here is Swadling now. Here is Swadling across to this near side, looking for Serapis, and Stevens getting his boot in. Just trying to remember. See, we've got a Valentine substitution now. Corey Atkinson coming onto the ground.
Swadling, I think, is coming off.
Josh Swadling, he's been impressive. Who's top of the list in your Dustund House Man of the Match voting this afternoon, Gary?
Well, I'll put it down to 3. I'll put it down to Swadling, Pettit. 4. Swadling, Pettit, McGinley, and Burrell.
Swadling, Pettit, McGinley, and Burrell.
At this stage, all have been super impressive.
Yeah, Scott McGinley has been great at the back for Valentine. Ridge Marpu as well has
been good as well.
Very good. Good goal line save, and Lachlan Rowan coming from the ground now.
Trent Partridge coming on.
Great performance from Lachlan Rowan today.
Yeah, he's probably been close to Weston's best out there.
Only a handful of first-grade games, Lachlan Rowan, and he looked like he was an experienced campaigner out there today. As here is Darren Cooper, outside of the football towards Olzema. Last year, Brenton Olzema for Edgeworth, he scored 6 goals in 20 games, which was an impressive performance considering Edgeworth have got Brodie Taylor, Brent Hamill.
And Brenton didn't start, probably 50% of those games, I would imagine. So
he had an impressive year. Here's Ridge Marpu taken out by Snedden.
Snedden will be a card.
Snedden apologetic with that challenge. So it's going to be Valentine, you'd think now. A couple of minutes of regulation time. Here's a ball for Paul McGinley. Can he run that down? Paul McGinley with the shot. And slices that one wide. You just think maybe Mick Ryan puts that chip that hit the bar in early on.
It's a different game.
First half, it just changes.
It's just momentum swings. Valentine's momentum shifts backwards. They probably don't go down the other end and hit the bar themselves, and we're playing a different ball game. But it's all about putting the ball in the back of the onion bag, as they say. And yeah, Valentine have managed to do that on a couple of occasions. They've probably been the far better side in the second half from an attacking point of view. Weston have had periods where they've countered quite well, but you'd have to say Valentine have dominated the second half.
Lee Ashton with that chance inside the 6-yard box when Rob Macbeth took on Chris Brown. That was probably a good chance to level it up, but just couldn't get their shot wide of Valentine's goalkeeper. Here, cutting inside, nice ball. A bit heavy there from Ridge Marpu, looking to the middle of the ground for Valentine there. Corey Atkinson going through. As here there is Zach Snedden. Playing it towards Mick Ryan now. Gets in front of McGinley. Still Ryan, a little deflection. Marco grabs that one. With their first clean sheet of the season, Valentine, if they can keep Weston to naught in the final few minutes. Here's McGinley. Now playing it to Atkinson. Atkinson in towards a little touch from Serapis back to Atkinson. Ulzima puts it in, but it's an offside against Valentine.
So at this stage, what are we looking at for Weston, Ben? 390 minutes, is it?
Yes, 390 it will be. That's an incredible statistic. That's 6.5 hours. I'm trying to think what the Jets got up to in the A-League this season. They were pretty high.
It was more than that. I think it was in the 500s, wasn't it, from reflection?
Yes, it was. I think it was about 8 matches. Yes, which 500 minutes makes sense.
Weston travel to Lyle Oval next week to take on the informed Charlestown, so their task won't get any easier. I think Valentine have Edgeworth on Saturday. Yep.
That should be a good game, actually. Edgeworth coming off that loss. They'll be looking to bounce back. And Valentine have been fairly good in their matches they have played. Probably their worst performance was that game against Adamstown at Adamstown Oval. They really didn't turn up that afternoon.
Yeah, if they play like they did today, again, the surface has a lot to do with it. I think they're a team that like to play football. They've got a lot of ball players in their side, and unfortunately, Carl Oval on occasions or previously hasn't been favourable for them in that regard. But hopefully things change there in the near future. I know there's some moves afoot to get the ground up to speed.
Here's McDermott playing it across to Partridge. Partridge back to McDermott. Lets it run on. Macbeth. Ball back to Ryan. It is a penalty. It's a late penalty to Weston. So has the clean sheet gone out the window? Scott McGinley unimpressed. Alex Burrell also unimpressed. A yellow card for Chris Brown for the challenge. Well, Chris Brown certainly not whinging. He was walking straight out of there. And Nathan Morris looking for his first of the season now.
So we've killed maybe, assuming this goes in, 2 stats. The 390 minutes and the clean sheet.
So, Valentine looking for their first clean sheet in the top flight this season. And Weston looking to break the drought. Killing 2 birds with the 1 stone. Nathan Morris will try and do this quickly. Marco in goals. Won't be an easy man to beat. And here is Nathan Morris to break the drought. Morris puts it away off the post, I think, to Nathan Morris, and does the job, and the referee calls it full time. So Weston break the drought, but that's about all they do this afternoon. Valentine coming away from Bear Park, Rockwell Automation Park at Weston with a 2-1 victory, their first of the season, and they deserved it, didn't they, Gary?
Yeah, in the end, I think they were the better side. They came out of the second half a lot faster and a lot more committed than what Weston did. Weston looked flat, and they certainly took that early chance and then continued on from that. As I said, Weston on the counter had some genuine chances, but couldn't score. And, yeah, deserved win, their first win of the season. Congratulations to the Valentine Football Club and their coach, Darren Sills.
Well, we're looking forward to next week. We are pretty certain the match of the round will be Hamilton taking on Broadmeadow Magic. A top-of-the-table clash, that one. Should be an epic encounter, as they always are at Darling Street Oval. Last season, Hamilton got the rub of the green over Broadmeadow Magic. They've had the rub of the green lately. A 2-0 win at Darling Street and a 0-0 draw in the first round. So that should be a cracking contest on Bar TV. Join us then this afternoon. The full-time score was Western Bears 1, Valentine Phoenix 2.